Good morning, everybody. How the heck are you doing? I hope you are well out there. And there's always going to be distractions here because I have no studio, no place to actually do this at. So this is what you're going to get. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope it is a word from the Most High. Because every time that you slide that piece of bacon across your lips, you're slapping a creator across the face. A creator who has designed creatures such as that piece of bacon swine that you're sliding across your lips in a certain way that he is unclean to you, but he is the nature's garbage eaters. He's the one that goes through and eats the carcasses, the dead, the disgusting, the feces, the babies, everything that is out there to be eaten that is gross is what he eats. And so when you slide that across your face and you say that all food has been made clean, we have a problem. And it is a problem that our Creator has given us the Torah, the law, statutes, and commands, that we can avoid. We can avoid all of this simply by keeping the law, statutes, and commands of Him. Now, this is very important here because He tells us right here in Leviticus 11:7, and the pig, for though it divides the hoof, thus making a split hoof, it does not chew cud. It is unclean to you. And then we go into Deuteronomy 14:8. The pig, because it divides the hoof, but does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. You shall not eat any of their flesh, nor touch their carcasses. So this doesn't say dead carcasses. This says carcasses. We are not to touch the carcasses of these unclean animals. And I'm making an adjustment. If it makes some noise, I'm super sorry. So we know from the Torah, because of Leviticus and Deuteronomy right here, that we are not even supposed to touch a pig. And for sure, you're not absolutely supposed to eat this thing. But, a lot of people wonder why. Why is that? And it doesn't take very long. And I just did a simple search. And these are words that I'm probably going to slaughter. But if there are words like this associated with the food that you're eating, there's a problem, right? And people that are so smart that they say that swine is made clean, and that Peter had a dream and a whole bunch of unclean animals came down in a sheet, and so now they can go eat unclean foods. These unclean foods contain this stuff right here, right? Ringworm, erysipelas, leptospirosis, streptococcus, campylobacterosis, salmonellosis, cryptosporidiosis, giardiasis, balantidiasis, influenza, infection with pathogenic E. coli, and brucellosis. Now, you don't have to be those are things you probably don't want to get. And then right here, can you catch any diseases from pigs? It says sick pigs can pass on zoonotic diseases to humans, which can include the skin condition erysipeloid and bacterium streptococcus suis, which can lead to illness including meningitis and deafness in humans. You can go deaf by this, right? So we have been told we are not to eat unclean foods. Lobster, shrimp, swine, roadkill, vultures, things of that nature, right? We have a Leviticus 11 dietary code that we can live by. Now, as I was doing a little bit more research on this morning, because I just happened to pop up 14 different verses in the Bible, which we'll go over real quick, that talk about this, I was looking at YouTube and parasites in swines, right? And right out of the gate, you have a giant worm coming out of the butt of a pig, a swine, right? These are animals that can actually live with a lot of this stuff that humans get super, super sick about. Now, the one that I saw here, which I didn't even see it in the list, but it's trichonosis, right? And that's the one that nobody talks anything about in any of the other ones we just looked at. But look at this.
Is trichonosis, which is also commonly known as trichonosis, and this is a parasitic worm infection of the body. So let's get started. So what is trichonosis? Trichonosis, which is also commonly known as trichonellosis, is a type of roundworm parasitic infection which requires a host body to live in and reproduce. This infection is caused by the parasite called Trichinella spiralis and occurs primarily among meat-eating animals, which are carnivores, such as bears and foxes, or meat and plant-eating animals, or omnivores, such as domestic pigs and wild boar. The trichinosis infection is acquired by humans when they unknowingly ingest the roundworm larvae in raw or undercooked meat.
Or also take a look at this. When you have that meat on a plate and you take like raw pork of any kind and you move it around, that plate is contaminated, right? Even when you wash that with hot water, there is still those diseases that can hurt humans.
From this definition of trichinosis, we understand that it's actually caused by this parasite called Trichinella spiralis, and this is actually what it looks like microscopically. So the parasite usually infects some carnivorous and omnivorous animals, such as bears, foxes, domestic pigs, etc., and can only be transmitted to the human if we unknowingly ingest the larvae, which is found in raw or undercooked meat. So I want to explore that topic a little further. So let's take a closer look at how one can contract trichinosis. So the trichinella larvae live in the muscle tissue of animals, typically pigs, wild boars, foxes, bears, walruses, and many other carnivores. An individual may develop trichinosis if they eat uncooked, undercooked, or underprocessed meat from an animal that carries the parasite. In most individuals, the infections arise from eating pork, particularly in regions where pigs are fed uncooked meat scraps and garbage, or from eating meat from wild boar, bear, or walrus.
All right, so that's all I'm going to do on this thing. But what I want to pull your attention to is that every food over here is on the unclean list that we are not to eat. We're not to eat swine. We shouldn't eat a rat, and we shouldn't eat a bear. Those are all unclean. It's polar bear. That's all unclean for us. The boar, all of that. The bottom line is our Creator built a system of animals that are cling to us, they don't hurt us. And the problem is when we go against, first of all, foremost the Torah, right? In the Torah, which is Leviticus and Deuteronomy, right here it tells us don't eat pig. It's Leviticus 11, the dietary laws, and then it tells us again, there's nowhere in the Bible that has a good thing about swine. Psalms 80:13, a boar from the forest eats it away, and whatever moves in the field feeds on it. Right? That right there is talking about a dead carcass or something of the sort. And down here we have wild boars. And if a wild boar or a pack of dogs or something outside get to it before the birds, they destroy everything that it touches, right? And we're not supposed to eat dogs. We're not supposed to eat wild boars. Isaiah 66:3, but he who kills an ox is like one who slays a man. He who sacrifices a lamb is like the one who breaks a dog's neck. He who offers a grain offering is like one who offers swine's blood. He who burns incense is like the one who blesses an idol, and they have chosen their own ways, right? And their soul delights in their abominations. And I've talked to so many Christians that will laugh and mock, and as they're eating their pork chops, as they're eating their pork, they love it. Their God is literally their stomach. They have chosen taste over what our Creator says is holy and profane. And pork is profane. It is an abomination for Yah's creation. He does not want us to eat that. Proverbs 11:22. As a ring of gold in a swine's snout, so is a beautiful woman who lacks discretion. Matthew 7:6, do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. It has happened, 2 Peter 2:22, it has happened to them according to the true proverb. A dog returns to its own vomit, and a sow, after washing, returns to wallowing in the mire. And then the next one's Matthew 8:30 and Mark 5:11, Matthew 8:31. These are all the same story that are told over and over in the various Gospels. Now there was a herd of many swine feeding at a distance from them, and this is the legion. This is the demon, the guy that was possessed with so many demons. His name was Legion, and so they went into a herd of 2,000 pigs, which leads, was it one demon per pig? Was it 5 demons per pig? How many was a legion? How many could you possibly get owned by? But the interesting thing is they wanted to go in and go kill the pigs. Why? Why didn't they want to go kill the lambs? Why didn't they want to go, free? Why didn't they just want to go roaming back into wherever they came from, right? They wanted to go kill, destroy, and maim on their way out the door. Mark 5:16, same thing. Um, yes, and so that is just, some of these things about swine, and you don't have to research it very much, guys. Unclean food is not what
So in this image on the left side of my screen, we see that the...
Sorry, guys. Unclean food is not what we should be doing and eating at any level. And so if you are still at that stage where you are eating, or you have swine in your fridge, you have chosen Hasatan over Yahuwah. And I know those are hard words to hear. Nobody wants to hear them. And you guys can always click unsub, or you can never come back. But it's just what the Bible says. None of this is my thoughts. It is my repetition of parroting the word of God, which says over and over and over that swine is a bad creature that humans should not be eating. But yet we are in an industry, in a world where we have legitimized it and made it a white meat, and pig farmers have gone out and nobody knows anymore. Guys, if you have swine in your house, you have an abomination to our Creator. Cook it up. I'll say cook it up and stuff. Here's what you should do. You should throw it away. If you can't do that, cook it up. Give it to your dogs, and never ever touch it. Never ever buy it again. And guys, be careful with it. Right? Look at all the diseases that come up when you're eating an unclean food. You don't want this stuff, right? We don't want erysipelas or leptospirosis, words you can't even say, right? I was looking further down. I'm almost to let you go on this. I was looking a little further down, and there's all sorts of bad stuff like itches, and this is what the baby cows end up, or baby pigs end up getting, and this is a Jewski's disease. It's the mad itch. Kills a lot of the piglets. These things are nature's cleanup system, right? It is the things that go around, and villages will have pigs to clean up their feces. They'll take a bathroom break outside of their house, and the pigs will come by and eat it up and clean it up, and that's what they do. So it's not meant for us. It's not meant for any of this stuff. So hopefully you guys get something out of this. Much love to y'all. I am out.